Hello and welcome to our show, Conversation with Priya. I'm your host, Priya Mishra. Today, our guest is Nimit Aggarwal. He's the founder and director of EcoEx and director BELS Ecotech, a result-driven business leader and a fervent supporter of a circular economy. Nimit comes with more than 10 years of experience in leading organizations working towards sustainable solution, plastic waste management, and PET plastic waste. He's an eco-minded entrepreneur supporting UNDP Sustainable Development Goal and has also consulted numerous foreign recycling organizations with their planning and business strategy. He's an alumnus of the prestigious Indian School of Business and member of board of FICC Youth Leader Committee. In September 2018, Nimit founded EcoEx, a first of its kind digital platform for stakeholders of the plastic waste management value chain to undertake secure and mutual beneficial plastic credit certificate transactions. He's based out of New Delhi. So today, I would like you to help me to welcome Nimit Aggarwal from EcoEx. Hello, Nimit. Thank you for joining in. Welcome to my show, Conversation with Priya.
Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for accepting my request. We have been trying to jump into this call for a while, and I know you are doing a very special project. It's very interesting to hear from you and your colleagues what you are doing for the environmental point of view. So, tell me something. How this whole journey started?
Okay. First of all, I would want to thank you for taking out your time as well for us, and it's great pleasure interacting with you. So let me just jump in on the first question.
Yes.
EcoEx was a very interesting journey. The idea was conceived back in 2019. It is under the company Karma Ecotech. Karma Ecotech was envisioned to be in the creating the environment friendly in the environment sector, the recycling sector in India to be formalized. And EcoEx is one of that product which we have come out with. It is first of its kind digital exchange for trading of plastic credit certificates. We are trading EPR obligations on a platform. The journey began a decade ago when I started recycling and joined my family company, which was into recycling of plastic waste in India. We are one of the largest plastic waste recyclers today. And I just saw a gap in the Indian market for recycling. And I saw that because I've traveled intensively all around the developed countries, have seen their procedures, their way of working in the environment, in the recycling sector. And we are trying to bridge that gap in India.
Yeah, very so needed in India. Everybody complains about our recycling procedures and everything. So it's so needed. But when I see the companies are trying to do a lot of things, but it's not enough. But can you tell us a bit about EcoEx, how different it is for carbon trading and what are the benefits of it?
So first, very major difference from carbon trading is not an obligation on any company mandated by law. It is more majorly in India a voluntary thing. Vis-a-vis the plastic credit which we are trading in India today is being generated by the EPR under the Plastic Waste Management Rules of 2016. It is under the law of extended producer responsibility. And it is an obligation by law on all the producers of plastic waste to take that plastic waste from the environment and get it ethically recycled and put into the circular economy. So the major difference is the obligation that is there. And then apart from that, we are generating a plastic credit once a recycling is done. So in carbon credits, you have to generate a carbon credit, you have to get yourself registered, you have to show that your projects are environment friendly, and then you have to expire the carbon credit. Vis-a-vis in a plastic credit, you don't have that luxury. It is automatically generated once recycling is done.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's a very very typical process, very complex process sounds. And I'm sure you guys are doing a lot in that. Been hearing that you have been one of the first India's company who are actually a startup in this environment friendly program, and you really created a nice digital platform for this, for marketplace. How do you explain for people to reach out to you if they want to participate in your journey?
So we are first of its kind digital marketplace in India for exchange of plastic credits.
Mhm.
If I want people to reach out to me, I feel honestly, anyone who's interested in any kind of environment friendly activities, they can reach out to us. We are
Yeah.
not just doing it for business, we are doing it for educating people what is the right way of working in the, what is the right way of treating plastic waste. For individuals as well, we would want collectively as a community to make ground level changes. And that is why EcoEx really believes in getting the unorganized sector, the recyclers on boarded, who really don't have the access or means to even come on the technology and see this interview. These guys are very small,
Yeah.
fighting for basic necessities. And we are trying to educate them. We are trying to get them on board. We are trying to get them incentive, a financial incentive from the polluters from the producers of plastic for the recyclers to earn extra money when they're recycling and increasing the quality of their livelihood, bringing the social equality in that true sense.
Yeah.
And that is
And
belief.
every sense matter, every droplet makes a difference when it comes to really overall environment protection. So everybody should contribute. And as I know, there are a huge business development going on in India earning side. And I know they are also investing a lot in polluting in terms of, I'm not blaming them, but there is a contribution because of lack of knowledge and awareness, how to recycle, how to process their waste materials and all. Is there any policy or is there any program you guys are running to make them aware about being more environmental friendly and going towards more recycling side?
I'm sorry, who are we talking about? Which
I'm talking about the small businesses, like the people who are selling the small samosas and small shops, like the Thela Wala story. They do a lot of business. How they are contributing it? I mean, since you mentioned about the every cents matter, so.
I would honestly, if you want my honest answer, I would say I've been working in this industry from the past decade. It's been more than 10 years now. And I feel that today for our product is EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, is basically, if I I'll take 1 minute, I'll give a brief about it. It is an obligation of a producer for any plastic producer and anyone who is selling any kind of plastic in the environment in India to take that plastic back and get it recycled or put to end of life application. So once I say that, there are 11 million tons of plastic waste which was generated in India last year. And believe me that most of it went to the landfill. And we are doing manual segregation, manual collection of plastic waste, and still we were able to do 60%, which is a huge number in terms of global standards. But still, we can achieve 100%, but we are not able to. And the reason is that these small vendors are still not able to take any initiatives today because of their constraint on financial and other means. But the disheartening part is that there are educated people and they're doing millions of tons and they are also trying their level best. I'm not saying they're not trying. Everyone wants no one wants to live in dirt. Everyone wants cleanliness around them. Yeah. So I think as a society, we are moving towards that educated understanding of how we need our environment to be like. But yes, there are a lot of challenges when we
Yeah,
talk
it's
about
a lot to be done. And I remember when whole Clean India program is started. I remember in an interview, Man versus Wild, Mr. Modi said that India has no problem in personal hygiene. India has a problem in the in environmental and social hygiene side. So if we will learn that one, I think it will be amazing. Incredible India concept will definitely come out to showcase on their
and
part. Having said that, do you think more funding is necessary, especially from VCs like venture capitals, to promote environmental friendly ventures?
definitely. I've been saying this since a very long time that globally, if we look at the numbers, there is hardly any investment in terms of the percentage in the environment sector globally. And funds have started realizing the need of investment which is needed in development of environment friendly initiatives and for the development of environment friendly different innovative ways to take care of all kinds of plastic waste. I'm not just talking about plastic waste. I'm talking about all kind of solid waste, not just plastic
Yeah,
waste.
yeah,
And I see the change now. Post COVID, I've seen big private equity firms venturing out and trying. We are getting so many organic inquiries every day from one of the best private equity companies you've heard the names of every day. And they're intrigued about the fact that there are more startups like us coming in this sector and they want to push, they want to motivate us financially, they want whatever they can do for us. And I feel that change today, but nevertheless, it's a much needed requirement.
yeah. I couldn't agree more. It's like SDGs. That brings to my next question. SDG, like Sustainable Development Goal, is now an important terms in corporate terminology like CSR. What are the necessary SDG goals for companies?
So SDG goals, Sustainable Development Goals from the UNDP, United Nations Development Program goals, I think, are majorly or they focus only on equality of the masses. You can talk about giving proper hygienic environment, less pollution in waters and oceans, less reducing of CO2 emissions, whatever they talk about. But ultimately, the focus of SDG goals is to get the majority of the population globally under a basic standard of living by 2030. And it has a very macro level understanding in terms when we talk about globally. India alone has 135 crore people today, so it's almost 1.3 billion people, and it is easier said than done.
Yeah.
But at EcoEx, we are doing our bit, and we have come. I think we've been trying to achieve a lot of those goals, but majorly we are focused on educating the unorganized sector in the recycling fraternity of plastic waste to get them to be organized, to educate them, for us to get reduce the consumption of plastic, not just for individuals, but also on for them to enter into the oceans or maybe in the landfills and maybe have better ways of recycling it. We are also trying to organize the organized market in the EPR space for the plastic waste management rules. And all of this collectively is also helping us achieve to reduce the carbon footprint and the CO2 emissions in the environment.
Yeah, very interesting. And I mean, every contribution and education is must. I feel like in this industry, there are a lot of things happening, and that is taking us to the opposite side, just because of lack of awareness and knowledge to the unorganized sector, especially. So, how do you ensure green compliance in business? Is there any benchmark being developed?
So, as per law in India, people are mandated to invest in the CSR activities, which is corporate social responsibility,
Yeah.
after a certain benchmark of their turnover, which they cross. And also, there are a lot of EHS, environment, health, and safety measures, which the government is coming up with today. They have come up with a lot of them as well. And having said that, for EcoEx, I think in every aspect of life, it is more of how you live your life. It's not like we're turning off a switch and then we're going back and we're not thinking about the environment. So we are collectively like-minded people who believe in protecting and maybe getting just ourselves and our surroundings clean enough for us to even realize the beauty of the nature. And that is why I feel that everything counts, every small like, for example, we would not want to waste the ink in our printers. We would want to probably use 2 cups of plastics. Instead, we'll use a cup which is made out of steel. So that is how we try to probably figure out the green initiatives.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in that sense, how do you bridge the East versus West? And when it comes to the cross-country green initiatives, how do
When
you
you say
bridge
East
that?
versus West, you need to be very clear about what kind of countries you're talking about. Are we talking about financially developed countries or underdeveloping countries or like developing countries?
Yeah.
So once we talk about developed countries, I'm pretty sure they have a very different mindset. People I go and meet in the developed countries have been involved because obviously most of them, there's less population, everyone is educated, so they realize the importance of whatever we are doing today. And we that feel now in India, when we go and talk to people, the stakeholders, the producers of plastic, we call them PIBOs, which is producer, importer, and brand owner. So producers of plastic and the other stakeholders, be it the government, we were talking to one of those very senior commissioners of one of the urban local bodies yesterday evening, and everyone is very much interested in at least exploring how what best initiatives are there in the West, in the developed countries, and that is the gap I feel which is being bridged when we say that there are meaningful, already successful initiatives taken in the developed countries and countries like ours learning from it and trying to implement it in our own unique way, not as a standard protocol.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, like India is doing, I mean, recently I have noticed it has a huge development in environment friendliness, carbon emission side, biogas, CNG, I mean, you name it. Anything, India is literally actively participating in environmental friendly whole scenario, not one aspect, in every aspects of all walks of life they are trying to tackle in different ways. This initiative, of course, definitely gonna help other aspects of environment, like having the for example, there was a big huge case of India. I've been listening that vultures are dying because they are eating plastic. Cows are dying because they are eating plastic, and there are other industry like dairy industry, birds and animals, our whole ecosystem is gonna change. Do you feel proud on that section? And if you want to encourage younger generation to participate, is there any youth program you're thinking about?
Definitely, we're thinking about a lot of youth programs. I think we're just going to have a citizen engagement program where we're trying to educate people on ground level for how to clean your environment, how to keep yourself and your surroundings clean. We'll have some cleanliness drives soon enough. And very unique, very interesting thing I was going through the other day. One of my team members wrote an article about how much plastic we are consuming as humans in our the basic, when you call that I think the atomic level. So it breaks down when, like you said, cows are eating plastic. It breaks down in the cow's stomach, and then it drives down in the milk, and you're drinking that milk. So you wouldn't believe, but we are ending up having an equivalent amount of plastic as big as a credit card every month in India, and it was shocking for me. So that is the kind of problems we are facing, and we're not even realizing these problems will. The problems of eating plastic would come up in the next 20 years when we'll have proper research, like we saw in COVID. There was no proper research when the outbreak happened, and that is why it was very difficult to contain it at a global level. And I feel plastic is with the same mindset. If we don't reduce or we don't ethically recycle it, and if the life, it would enter the fish in the marine life in the oceans. Fishes are eating plastic. People eat fish, and then they are ending up eating plastic, which is going to harm our bodies.
Yeah. And I have heard recent news that recently We found in human mother's milk a small part of the particle because it's going into your blood vessels level. So
Yes,
it's
yes, and
scary.
it's a huge problem. People will realize it. And I feel education, like you said, is most important for the youth because that is the right age for anyone to develop strong intentions for their future, for the way they want to live their lives. And I think this education is very important because it is universally, it won't harm anyone. I
Hmm.
mean, you cannot have a negative impact of having a cleaner environment. You think about it, there's no con towards it. So this is one subject I think should be taught to every child.
Yeah, yeah. And how it is, the last question brings to me that, okay, we are all, it's a not profit organization, right? It's a profit for
Yes.
organization. How it is gonna help other businesses to sustain and get help from this, your business, EcoEx?
So we are just exchange. Our main mandate today is to assist other people to do a better job in protecting the environment,
Yeah.
and we are bridging the gap by getting the recyclers, the people who are doing plastic waste recycling and collection and segregation at ground level, to get them on board and to educate them and to organize them and to get them financial incentives from polluters of plastic. And I feel that we are, by that explanation, by that definition, we are trying to maybe touch base with every person who can possibly be associated with plastic in India. And it is a mandate for get as much people on board as possible.
Yeah. And I was talking to you earlier, and I'm sure you are also planning to go international market sooner or later. So we will be looking forward to see the growth because it's so much needed requirement for this particular company to grow, and this kind of a venture should come out more and more to support not only the personal life, professional life, and of course environment in a larger aspects of every ecosystem we are actually living in it. So you're doing really great job. It's really so needed at this stage, and you're doing it. I'm so happy that I interviewed you, and I'm sure there are a lot of insight you have given. If people wants to reach you out, how they can?
I can give you my email ID and my phone number, and anyone can call me anytime.
Right, you are very accessible, I know that. So your details will be given in the description, and I have also noticed that you are very active on LinkedIn, so people can
Yes.
reach out to you through that, and your team is very supportive. So guys, don't forget to ask because it's so needed business for you, your business, if you are somehow touched by the plastic. So let's save environment, isn't it?
For your kind words. It was really interesting to interact with you, and you had very valid questions. I think we need more interest like yours in this space for people to realize and understand the importance as well. And
Thank you.
thanks for taking out the time.
Thank you for joining in.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done it. To know more about us, visit www.corporality.global. And also, you can find more about Priya Mishra is on priya.sydney.